Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Before AGI podcast. We love to dive deep into the latest AI developments, and this time, you guys sent in a ton of articles on AI and animation.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's talking about it these days.
And for good reason. I mean, the speed at which things are changing is just mind-blowing.
It really is mind-boggling. What I find fascinating is how AI is kind of like weaving its way into every single stage of making animation.
Yeah.
It's not just about like replacing animators or anything.
Wow.
It's about creating entirely new ways to bring ideas to life. You know?
Totally. One article that really caught my eye was 3 minutes to make animated videos with AI and ChatGPT.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
It's packed with all these tools, and it seems like the list is growing every day.
It really is. It's like someone opened up a treasure chest of AI animation tools.
Right.
Which is awesome because it means more access for people, you know, more experimentation.
Right.
But it can also be a little overwhelming. You know what I mean?
For sure. It's like drinking from a fire hose. But this article, it also lays out this process for making animated videos, like straight from text, using AI every step of the way.
Really?
Yeah, they use FlexClip as an example.
Oh, yeah.
The idea of going from like text to a finished video in minutes just seems wild.
It is pretty wild. It really shows how AI is like breaking down those barriers to entry in animation.
Yeah.
Like using ChatGPT to write a script and then just plugging it into FlexClip to generate a video. I mean, that was unthinkable just a couple years ago.
It's crazy, and here's where it gets really cool.
Yeah.
They talk about generating these AI animated photos to replace those static stock images you usually see.
Oh.
That level of detail just blew me away. It
Yeah.
really shows how AI is pushing the limits.
I mean, imagine just transforming blog posts into videos in minutes.
Right.
The potential is huge.
Huge. It really makes you think about all the creative possibilities that are opening up. And speaking of possibilities, it's not just these quick animated videos. We're seeing AI impacts the entire filmmaking process from start to finish.
Oh, absolutely. AI in animation. Past, present, future. From Wow How Studio really dives into that.
Yeah, that article is packed with examples.
What I liked about it is how they break down AI's influence on each stage of production.
Right.
It's not just like a theoretical overview, you know?
Right.
They actually give concrete examples of AI tools in action.
So, for example, in script writing, they mentioned Benjamin AI,
Oh, yeah, Benjamin AI.
which actually wrote the script for the short film Sunspring.
It's pretty amazing.
And AI writing a script, it blows my mind.
It's a great example of how AI can actually augment human creativity rather than just replacing it.
I like that augment.
Yeah.
Then in production, they highlight Axabo and their AI-powered motion control camera system.
Yeah. Axabo's system is incredible.
So this technology can precisely control camera movements, right? Making those really complex shots easier and more efficient.
Way more efficient.
And then there's post-production,
Oh, yeah.
like in The Irishman, where they used AI for de-aging the actors.
It's crazy how realistic that technology has become.
It's unbelievable. And what's really interesting is that the article also mentions films like The Lion King, Avatar, and even Tenet.
Really?
Yeah, using AI tools during production.
Wow. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Right. These are like blockbuster movies that people might not immediately think of as AI-driven.
It's a good point. It shows how subtly AI is being integrated into filmmaking,
Yeah.
often in ways that we don't even realize.
Exactly. But here's where things get even more exciting.
Okay.
AI in animation is reaching way beyond traditional filmmaking.
You're right. This is where we see the real potential of AI unfolding. AI Animation Use Cases Guide lays out examples across a ton of industries.
It's mind-blowing.
It really is, from automotive and architecture to insurance, media, entertainment.
It's everywhere.
It really is, you name it.
It feels like AI animation is finding its way into every aspect of our lives.
Pretty much.
Like, for example, in the automotive industry, they're using AI to create these super detailed 3D models of vehicles,
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
which can help with everything from design to marketing.
And in architecture, they're using AI for those detailed 3D models of buildings.
Yeah, and virtual walkthroughs too,
It's changing the way architects design and clients experience those spaces.
for sure. It's amazing to see how far-reaching the impact of AI in animation really is. But let's shift gears a bit and talk about some of the realities of working with AI.
Okay.
It's not all sunshine and roses, right?
That's true. There are definitely some challenges.
One of the biggest takeaways from our research is that AI is super data dependent.
Oh, absolutely. AI Animation Use Cases Guide puts it perfectly. Bad data in, bad results out.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly.
It's simple, but it's true. You can't expect AI to work miracles if it's working with bad information.
Nope.
So what does this mean for our listeners?
Well, it highlights the importance of having good data sources.
Right.
Not just in animation, but in any field where AI is being used.
That's a good point. It's a reminder to be really careful about the data we're using and to make sure it's accurate. So data is the foundation.
Yeah.
But what about the human element? The big question everyone seems to be asking is, how will AI impact jobs in animation?
That's the million-dollar question.
Right. Will AI replace animators altogether?
That's a tough one. AI in animation, friend or foe. And AI in animation, understanding its role, benefits, and future, presents some pretty different viewpoints.
Yeah, some people are worried about job losses, while others think AI will mainly enhance human creativity.
It's not a black and white situation.
It seems like there's no easy answer.
It's more likely that AI will change the types of animation jobs out there.
So animators will need to adapt and learn new skills.
Exactly.
So maybe the future of animation isn't about animators versus AI, but rather about how they can work together.
It's a collaboration, not a competition.
I like that.
Yeah.
But there's another aspect of AI that we need to talk about, and that's the potential for bias.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
If AI is trained on biased data, it can perpetuate and even amplify those biases.
Exactly. That's something that AI in animation, friend or foe, touches on.
It's not just about the technology itself, but about how we use it and the responsibility that comes with it.
You got it. It's about making sure AI is used ethically.
This is getting pretty deep.
It is.
Maybe this is a good place to pause and pick up this conversation in part 2.
Sounds good to me. We've covered a lot of ground already.
We'll be back in a flash, so don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to our deep dive into AI in animation.
Before the break, we were talking about all the implications of AI in this field, and I think a lot of our listeners are probably like, okay, this is all super interesting, but what about the actual tools?
Right. Like, how do we get started with all this?
Exactly. What can we actually use?
Well, there's a whole universe of AI animation tools out there. Some are really complex, and others are surprisingly easy to use.
Okay, so where do we even begin?
One platform that's been getting a ton of buzz lately is Render Forest.
Render Forest? I think I've heard of that one. That's the one that lets you create animated videos just by typing in what you want, right?
Yep, that's the one. They've got this tool that uses AI to interpret your text prompts, and then it generates the visuals to match.
So it's like having an AI animator right there at your fingertips.
Pretty much. You could type something like a robot walking a dog through a futuristic city, and boom, it creates a video based on that.
That's wild. It seems like the same tech that's behind those text-to-image generators is now being used for videos, too.
It really is blurring the lines between all these different creative mediums.
Totally. But I'm guessing the quality of the videos can vary quite a bit, right?
Yeah, for sure. It depends on the platform and the specific AI models they're using. There's definitely still room for human creativity in the process.
So it's not just about letting the AI do all the work. You still need that human touch to shape the final product.
Absolutely. AI is just a tool at the end of the day. And like any tool, it needs a skilled artist to use it effectively.
That makes sense. So Render Forest is just an example then.
Yeah, there are a bunch of other AI animation generators out there, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. The article, How to Make an AI Animation in 4 Steps Render Forest, actually gives a pretty good overview of some of the more popular ones.
Oh, yeah. I remember that one. Animaker was one that stood out to me. I heard it's really user-friendly, who is great for beginners.
It is super user-friendly. Animaker has a drag-and-drop interface and a huge library of characters, props, and backgrounds. It's like a digital animation studio in a box.
Perfect for someone who wants to dip their toes into animation without needing to become a technical expert.
Exactly. And then you've got something like Sora AI, which is on the other end of the spectrum. It uses some pretty sophisticated AI, but it might take a while to get the hang of it.
So there's a tool out there for everyone, basically.
Pretty much. No
Yeah.
matter your skill level or what kind of project you're working on, there's something out there for you.
That's awesome. And what about for people who already use traditional animation software? Is AI making its way into those too?
It is. Adobe Animate, for example, has integrated some AI features through Adobe Sensei, which is their AI assistant.
Adobe Sensei, I've heard of that. What can it actually do for animation, though?
One of the coolest things it can do is automate lip syncing.
Oh, wow.
That used to take animators forever to do manually, but now AI can handle it with amazing accuracy.
That's a huge time saver. I can see how those AI-powered features could really speed up the workflow and let animators focus on the more creative stuff.
Exactly. It's about freeing up time and energy so you can really push the boundaries of what's possible.
Now, it's not just these standalone AI animation generators that are making a difference. AI is also being used to enhance traditional animation techniques like motion capture. Can you explain what motion capture is, for those who might not know?
Sure. Motion capture or mocap is basically where you record the movements of real actors and use that to animate digital characters. You've probably seen those behind-the-scenes videos where actors wear those suits with all the sensors.
Oh yeah, those are super cool. I always wondered how they worked.
Well, AI is taking motion capture to a whole new level now. Instead of needing those special suits, AI algorithms can analyze regular 2D video footage and turn that into 3D animation.
Wait, so you could film someone moving around their living room, and AI could turn that into a 3D character?
Exactly. The possibilities are endless.
That's mind-blowing. It's like AI is breaking down the walls between live action and animation.
It's giving creators even more freedom to experiment and tell new kinds of stories.
It's amazing how far things have come in such a short time. But with all this talk about AI tools and technology, I think it's important to remember that at its heart, animation is about storytelling.
You're so right. It's about connecting with the audience on an emotional level.
Right. AI can be an amazing tool, but it's the human element that really brings those stories to life.
It's about finding that balance where human creativity and AI innovation can work together to create something truly special.
The true partnership. This has been a whirlwind tour of AI animation tools and tech, and honestly, I feel like we barely scratched the surface.
I know, right? There's so much more to explore, but I think this is a good place to transition to the final part of our deep dive.
Sounds good to me.
We'll shift our focus to the bigger picture, We'll look at the ethical considerations, the challenges, and the long-term impacts of all this.
I'm looking forward to that. Welcome back to the Before AGI podcast. We've been taking a deep dive into AI and animation, exploring how it's changing the way we create and experience animated content. And we've seen the incredible possibilities, all the new tools, the techniques. But now I think it's time to zoom out a bit and look at the bigger picture.
Yeah, you're right. It's important to look beyond the hype and think critically about what this all means for the future of animation.
Exactly. Like, what are the long-term impacts? What challenges might come up as this technology gets even more powerful?
And what does it mean for the people involved? The artists, the storytellers.
It feels like we're on the verge of something huge, but there's still so much uncertainty.
It really is.
One of the biggest questions that keeps coming up is, what happens to animators as AI gets more and more capable?
Right. Like, is there even a place for human artists in a world where machines can create animation so quickly and efficiently?
That's a big one.
Yeah, it's a valid concern for sure. And honestly, there are no easy answers.
Right.
But I think it's important to remember that AI is ultimately a tool.
Right.
And like any tool, it's only as good as the person using it.
So it's not about AI taking over completely.
No, not at all. I mean, AI can automate certain tasks, generate ideas. It can even create whole sequences of animation.
But it still needs that human touch.
Exactly. It needs human creativity and vision to guide it, to shape it, and to give it meaning.
So it's more about collaboration than competition.
Exactly. It's
right.
about finding ways for humans and AI to work together, each leveraging their own unique strengths.
I like that AI is a creative partner.
It's kind of like how the printing press didn't replace writers and the camera didn't replace painters.
Right.
AI will probably end up expanding the possibilities of animation, creating new forms of expression, new ways to connect with audiences, new stories to tell.
It's exciting to think about all the potential, but it's also important to be aware of the challenges that come with bringing such a powerful technology into a creative field.
Oh, for sure.
Like, what are some of those challenges?
Well, one of the biggest is making sure that AI is used responsibly and ethically.
Okay, yeah, that's a big one.
We need to be careful about things like bias, the impact on employment, who owns the creative rights, and just finding that balance between human and artificial intelligence.
So it's not just about the technology itself, but how we use it.
Exactly. It's about the values we embed in it and the future we want to create.
A future where AI helps us to tell better stories, connect with people on a deeper level, and push the boundaries of what's possible in animation.
I think that sums it up perfectly.
This has been a fascinating deep dive into AI and animation, full of insights, challenges, and possibilities, and it seems like it's only just the beginning.
It is. The field is constantly evolving, and I can't wait to see what the future holds.
Me neither. Well, if you've enjoyed this deep dive and you're as intrigued by the world of AI as we are, be sure to subscribe to the Before AGI podcast for more explorations of this incredible technology and its impact on all our lives.
And don't forget to check out Ian's YouTube channel, Ian Ochieng AI, for in-depth tutorials and insights into all things AI.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep creating.